Warning. This show is intended for entertainment
do you have to keep doing this every
purposes
time?
only.
We do.
Nothing you hear on this show should be taken seriously. This show contains a high volume of satire, sarcasm, and fantasy. It is a comedy show and should be treated as such.
Okay. We're pissing Mark off. We'll get to the little song.
Hello, baby.
Hello, nasty. Hello there.
Hello.
I say hello.
Hello, friend.
Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 287 of The Brink of Sanity. It is just me, Jay, and me.
Me, Jay. Jay.
Who is Jay.
I'm me, Jay. How are you?
And that is Mark. I didn't want it to sound like
can I be-
me, comma, Jay, comma, Mark.
Can my name be you, Mark?
It's
you, Mark, and me, Jay.
It's the Me, Jay, and You, Mark show, episode 287.
We're almost at 300, so
Almost.
what you got planned, Jay?
Well, our Patreon is pulling in $2 a month, so it looks like our Australia trip is not going to happen.
You're saying the flight to Australia is more than the $2 a month?
I think it's going to be, yeah, especially with luggage.
Yeah, because I want to check my luggage. So so if everyone can get on that Patreon thing and get it up a little bit, we can do the Australia trip for episode 300. At the pace we're going, the episode 300 will probably be 4 months from now.
Yeah.
So 4
there's
months
time.
from now. So that's, guys, you got to step it up with Patreon so we can get to Australia to do the giant show in the Opera House in Sydney.
I think so, yeah. So patreon.com/thebrinkofsanity. Chip in $1 a month. See what happens.
Yeah. So Jay has made this promise. If we get to Australia, Jay will have sex with a kangaroo in the Opera House while singing whatever is opera music.
I don't remember that part on the Patreon. I'll have to go back and
Well,
check.
we gotta put it in there. So Jay, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Let's say you have 2 kids.
Okay.
They get older. They do stuff with their lives.
Mm-hmm.
One kid
Yep.
turns out to be in possession of a good amount of child porn.
Oh, I thought you were going with like a real life example, and you just totally threw me for a loop here.
Yes, no, this is not any example from my
Unless your 5-year-old son has child porn. Is it child porn if your 5-year-old has it, or is it just normal porn at that point?
No, it's cool. He's of the right age.
Right? It's not child porn until he reaches like 12.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So let's say you have one child who when they're adult, not when they're a kid, but when they're the adult, when the child porn stuff is illegal, they possess a lot of child porn. Is there a chance that this kid is still, the adult son is still the pride of your family?
I would say no.
You don't think that like your other son could do anything that you say like, my favorite still is the child porn son?
Well, I mean, if the other one is like raping and stabbing.
Say the other one's the Las Vegas shooter. Did you not hear about this?
No, are you telling me the Las Vegas shooter's brother has child porn?
Yes.
Oh, this is a real thing.
This is a real thing.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Isn't that...
So he's going to sit down at Thanksgiving dinner like all cocky, like, well, look who's the number one son. Not so creepy after all, is it?
Ooh, my child porn is now the joy, not the embarrassment of the family.
How many people did my child porn kill? Oh, that's right, 0.
Oh, yeah. You know what happened to my child porn? No adults were killed. There might be children killed. I don't really know about that part. But no adults were killed.
Wow, that's those parents are probably not happy with their parenting.
I have to say those parents, like, the dad was a bank robber. So he was on the America's, like, the top 10 most wanted for a little while.
Are you making this up?
Did you read anything about the Las Vegas shooter?
I got to stop going to InfoWars. All they were doing was talking about, like, there was a separate shooting at Hooters, and it was covered up, and, like, They didn't mention
What? A
it.
separate shooting at Hooters that was not mentioned?
Yeah, apparently there was they uncovered a video of like the cops pulling bodies out of Hooters, but I don't know if anything on that site's real at this point.
What? Well, it happened in a different dimension. The head of Infowars, Mr. What's his name?
Alex Jones.
Yeah, Mr. Crazy Town believes in multi-dimensions. So maybe that happened in a different dimension.
That's true. I have to start pulling the comments again. Some people like our Infowars bit, so I'll get that ready.
Forget the comments. Could you just pull the main stories because they're that crazy?
Yeah, that's true.
The Hooters thing is that's so. Anyway, so the shooter. I don't want to get too much into this, but the shooter, his dad, he was a bank robber, and he was described as a psychopath. But his dad left the family when he was like a kid. The dad like left the family to like go like, hey son, you're gonna be better off on your own because I'm gonna go rob banks and be like a psychopath. And it turns out the son probably was not better off on his own. I guess.
There's still bank robbers.
I back then, I guess. I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened. The mom did a really good job of being like, I'm going to raise these two sons. One of them is going to be one of the greatest going to perform one of the greatest mass killings in the history of our country. And the other one's just going to dabble in porn for 2 years. Child porn in 2 years.
Wow. I feel like that's a future dollop.
Do you yes. Really have to, you think the mom is just like, yeah, I'm gonna volunteer this. I wasn't the best parent.
Right.
I didn't do as good a job as you would hope.
Well, I mean, she also married a bank robber, so maybe she's just not the best of judgment in general.
Yeah, I have 2 kids. I want the best for them, and I guess you really will judge my parenting based on what happens to them. And if either one of them ends up being like does a mass shooting or is highly involved in child porn, I will say my parenting was a failure. I will not be like, hey, but look at these pictures of our Halloween when they were 6 years old. Looked like we were having fun. He looked like a good kid. Sorry about your family being wiped out by the shooter.
Dad's not in the Halloween picture because he's robbing a bank.
Yes. By the way, the dollop, which Jay made reference to, is one of the best podcasts. We have no
affiliation.
I wish no affiliation. But everyone should listen to the dollop. It is a hilarious podcast. Jay is insane and finds these podcasts and starts listening from episode 1, and there's like 300 episodes. But he got me to do it also. This is a really, really funny podcast.
Andrew said if we don't get enough money to go to Australia, we should just float to Australia on a door.
Well, Andrew, I think $2 a month is not going to get us a door that be able to float on. So you got to step it up, Andrew.
He also said he knew somebody who floated to Australia on a door from Indonesia, and he's not even kidding. That's got to be days, right?
It's got to be more than days.
It's
How
also...
do you...
Well, I have so many questions now. Like, one is why. 2 is how. Like, he had to have like water and food. Like, how big was this door? And
Are you playing reporter? You're gonna ask all the W's.
Yeah. How do you know you're going in the right direction? Like, if you're like 1/8 of an inch off, like you just float in water till you're dead.
Well, is it that? Well, it was. What kind of door is it? Is it a door for a giant's house? Maybe it's a door for a giant's house, and the door was like 300 feet by 2,800 feet.
Still
or
impressive.
Is it if it's a door for a midget's house?
Well, it can't be too big because I would assume you would need to have like an oar, right? So like it can't be that big.
I mean, maybe it just floated. Maybe did he go to Australia on purpose? Maybe it was an accident. Maybe he was just like, I'm gonna get on this door and see where life takes me. God, lead me.
He thought he was going surfing on the door, and the tide just took him to Australia.
He was knocking forever.
All right, so I have a question for you.
Okay, I have something I want to ask you also, but to ask me.
Okay, so would you consider your face part of your body?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay, because apparently
you think I was going to say the opposite?
I did, because
you're a terrible opening for your bit.
No, you don't know where this is going. So
I have no idea where this is going.
So, I saw. I'm assuming my girlfriend bought it. Stress relief body lotion, and I was stressed, and I said, "You know what? I'm going to put some of this on my face."
What do you think was going to happen? Well, I get this right away because lotion, like there's hand lotion and there's face lotion, which is different because I live with a woman also, so that's the only reason I know that.
Right, but
and she made fun of you for that, right?
Because it stung my face. My face was
stung your face.
My face was stinging, and she said, "That's because it's supposed to go on your body, not your face." And then I said, my face is part of my body, and why does it not sting my arm, but it stings my face? And then we went back and forth for like a good amount of time.
Well, hang on. So you've been living with a girl, your girlfriend, for 7 years?
Sure. I think longer.
Am I right, or you have any idea?
I think longer.
I don't think. How much longer was it? 8 years?
Yeah, eight and a half.
You're like, 17,828 days. And this is, have you ever used lotion for your face?
I mean, I've used lotion on my face.
This has never come up like that. I know that lotion.
I've never used body lotion on my face.
I know. I've made this mistake before. But I made this mistake like 11 years ago or like 10 years ago because like we've been living together long enough that the mistake was like, there's been ample opportunity for me to make this mistake at the beginning.
Right.
How did you first make the mistake 8 years in?
I don't know. I'm not a big lotion guy, so I use like, there's like a thing of like dry skin face cream. So I usually use that, but I was feeling extra stressed, and I saw the stress relief cream.
Well, hang on. There's stress relief cream.
Well, stress relief body lotion. Yeah.
Are you lying about using your face? You're saying like my dick was on fire? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, but I mean, as long as we're bringing everything to the lowest common denominator, we'll go there.
Because I feel like, first of all, stress relief lotion. You're like, do you mean you're like encouraging me to whack it with it? And second,
I think stress relief lotion is just baby oil.
I don't know what stress relief. Is that what it is?
That was a joke.
Oh. Well, I'm just saying stress relief lotion sounds like a scam to begin with. Like, what would happen to you?
Well, I don't know. I know that I was a lot more stressed when my face started stinging.
Stress-inducing lotion?
Yeah, I wasn't in a very good mood after that.
How long did you? I imagine you washed it right off and then like it felt better?
No, I just ran around in circles crying in the living room for a little while. Yeah, no, I just washed it off and I started complaining like, how come it's supposed to be stress relieving? It stung my face, and then she told me that's because it's for your body.
Well, I don't understand though. The lotion would like have. How does the lotion know what's going on? I understand your face has it's a slightly different composition than your your lotion than your arm skin, right?
Apparently, very different.
Yeah, but like so you're I don't know enough about anything to explain why, but I know your face is a lot more sensitive. But you put your lotion on your arm, and you're like, this is nice. You put the lotion on your face, you're like, ay caramba!
Yeah, apparently.
Why would it have such an did it when you put it on your arm? Did it like burn also or tingle?
I didn't put it on my arm. I'm done with it. I'm not using that anymore.
You're not curious to know if it will burn your arm? Maybe like the burning sensation was part of the relaxation.
No, I'm mad at it now.
Maybe it's like going into a sauna. You get really hot and then you feel better. So like it burns your skin and you're like you have to feel the pain and then like you're like, oh, now I feel better. I don't understand saunas.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We talked about the sauna championships, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Didn't someone die doing that?
Yes.
Which is kind of like, oh, well, that's probably better for everyone.
Andrew wants to know what kind of body lotion your aunts use.
My aunts. They, yeah, I have nothing funny to say.
Mark just leaves little puddles of various lotions on his floor so they can pick which one they like.
You know, for when they had infested my kid's bathroom, they really liked my kid's toothpaste. They were really into the toothpaste, which was kind of gross.
Really?
Yeah, they were all about the toothpaste.
That would be one of the last things I would think ants would go for.
I don't really know a lot about what ants go for. I don't think I don't think they're the most picky. They're probably not the most picky eaters.
Yeah, but I was thinking more like food items, not toothpaste.
Well, in fairness, my kid's toothpaste tastes like bubblegum.
Oh yeah, is that the red, white, and blue bubblegum? I don't know.
Aquafresh? No, actually, every kid's like a toothpaste tastes like candy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like my dentist was like, they recommended this one toothpaste. She's like, this is the only kid's toothpaste that does not taste like candy. It's like whatever it was, and so I bought it, and my kids wouldn't use it. So I was like,
really?
fuck it, I'm going with the candy one.
Well, it's kind of like a weird thing because it's like, don't eat it, but it tastes like something delicious.
Well, you know what's weird also when the kids go to the dentist, they put the treatment, the fluoride treatments on their teeth.
I used to like that. Yeah.
But they're like, do you want chocolate? Do you want like candy corn? Do you want birthday cake flavor? They don't even try for like, do you want the apple flavor? They cut to like, we know your kid only likes sweets. That's how it works in America. We're only gonna make things that taste like sweets.
Right. Well, I mean,
yeah.
He's trying to get your kids to have a sweet tooth so that they get more cavities and give him more business.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you should gargle with birthday cake.
Yeah, not the flavored toothpaste, real actual birthday cake. Just bash it against your teeth right before bed.
Yeah, my speaking of teeth, my son lost his first 2 teeth, and so he was like missing 2 teeth in front of his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter, who just thinks it's awesome that he lost his teeth, keeps telling us that she lost teeth. She's like, "Look, Daddy, I lost a tooth," and we're like, "You didn't." Look, I'm missing a tooth. Whatever.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. So Jay, I want to ask you about something.
Wait, Andrew wanted to know if your dentist asked your kids if they had funfetti flavor.
And then they bring out just the cake, and they're like, "This shit tastes like it has icing on it too." The icing doesn't come with it; just the cake flavor. Oh, I want icing! Damn it! This is a scam. I still think that's complete bullshit. How do you sell a cake without icing? So Jay, we do a Knicks show for anyone that doesn't know that there's literally no one that listens to the show that does not listen to the Knicks show. I imagine, right, Jay?
Probably not. The New York Knicks podcast, in case you don't know.
So we finished the Knicks podcast.
Yeah.
And Jay commented to me that his pens. He said he mentioned it in the promotion we were doing. I don't know if you buy a T-shirt, you get a Knicks pen.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
And so Jay says to me, he's like, off the air, he's like, "Oh, the pens are taking a while to get here."
They'll be here on Saturday, by the way.
Oh, cool. Good for you. And so I said, Jay, it's weird that you're using the plural. I thought they gave you 1 pen for free.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, No. I'm getting 100 pens. I said, well, they're giving you 100 pens for free? He's like, no, I paid for the 100 pens. We've been trying to sell T-shirts
Yep.
for like a year and a half with almost no luck.
Right.
And you bought pens?
Well, yeah.
You feel like the difference between our show taking off? You're like, you know what'll make our show go viral? If we have pens.
I feel like we could give them away, not sell the pens. My plan is to not profit off of the pens.
How are you planning on giving them away? You'd have to deliver them to people.
Like we go to a Knicks game and we have a pocket full of pens and we give them to some people. Guerrilla marketing, man.
Are you a Knicks fan? Here's a pen. Why do I fucking want a pen? I can get it when at the bank.
Well, everyone uses a pen, and now they're nice pens.
We only have how much do you pay for the pens?
Well, they're sending them to me, and they billed me, but they didn't charge me. So.
What do you mean they billed you, but they didn't charge you?
Well, they said, you want 100 pens? I said, yeah. They're like, that's $100. I said, okay. And then they're like,
you were paying $1 per pen?
Well, no, it was like 60 cents per pen, but then they have like the shipping fee and like a pressing fee and all this other stuff. It was supposed to be.
You're paying $100. You're paying $100 for 100 pens.
Yes.
Go on.
Well, so it said like $97. Do you want to do this? And I said yeah, and I hit send, and they said all right.
You saw that it was going to be $1 per worthless pen.
Yeah.
And you were like, sure, why not? That money would just have gone to Bitcoin anyway.
Guerrilla marketing, man.
Like, really? Are you going to give all these pens out?
Yeah.
I will be. When are you going to give them out? So you're getting them Saturday. When are you going to give them out?
When I go to
I
Knicks game.
guarantee months from now you'll have all 100 pens.
Well, we have we sold 2 shirts, so they're going to get 2 pens each. So we're already down to 96.
Oh, so the people that already are fans of the show because they bought T-shirts, maybe will listen a little bit more because they have a pen.
No, they'll give the pens to their friends. At least I'm doing something for the show.
Why don't you? You know what you should do?
Anyway, they're sending
You should take the CPA exam using one of the pens, and that way people will be like, "Look at that suave guy taking the exam with his New York Knicks podcast pen on a computer. He's awesome."
I'm not allowed to bring a pen into the test, but maybe I should try to. And then when they confiscate it, they'll be like, "What is this?"
You should when you give him. You should find James Dolan and then run at him with the pens. Just throw them at him.
So, yeah. So I hit order, and then they said, "All right, the pens are on the way. Here's your tracking number," and I didn't actually pay.
So they didn't actually send that. Hang on. What happened?
I have a tracking number, and it says it's coming. We're recording on a Thursday. They say it's coming on Saturday.
So it said, hit submit for the payment. Do you put your credit card information in?
No. I put in my address, and then they said it's $97. I said, okay. And they're like, all right, cool. Your pens will be here on the 28th.
Maybe they're going to send you a bill with the pens.
Well, that seems like a bad business proposition, doesn't it?
I mean, so does buying the pens in the first place. But you did that, so maybe they're not very good at pen company.
I mean, what
either.
kind of business says, like, here's all the stuff. Can you please pay us? Like
a lot of businesses do that, actually.
That
a
seems
lot of
like-
businesses pay on delivery.
That seems, it's not paying on delivery. They're delivering it. They're not going to send a guy, like, saying, can I have the $100? It's just going to show up at my door. I'm going to have the pens.
So here's what's going to happen. You're going to say, oh, I got a bill for them. I already have the pens. Screw them. Then they're going to send you another bill and another bill. And like 5 years from now, you'll be in small claims court for like thousands of dollars with all the like interest and everything they add on there, being like, I don't know why this pen company wants to ruin my life. I don't understand.
I just feel like it's a bad business model to send stuff without getting a payment.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe they're trusting. Maybe it's the pen company that's too trusting of Americans. They're like, everyone's a good person. They'll pay us.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. Anyway, let's move on.
Okay. I still think the pen thing is insane.
Guerrilla
Do you
marketing.
But you'd be better off dressing up like a gorilla, and just said New York Knicks podcast on the gorilla outfit and just walk around MSG. That would be better.
I'm in a podcast group, and almost every podcast has stickers or a poster or patches. Like, do you think all that stuff's like stupid too?
You're in a podcast group?
Yeah, on Facebook.
Oh. Yeah, I think it's like idiotic. I think all that stuff is like the only people that benefit from that are the people that sell them the items.
Okay.
What's going on with the podcast Facebook group? How come I was never asked to join it?
Like you would have participated even if you were.
Well, now I'm going to go in there and ask them what they think of your pens.
It's like 11,000 people in the group, and it's pretty much all podcasters.
So, but you paid $1 per pen.
I paid nothing.
Oh, there you go. What's going on with your other investment, the Bitcoin?
So, I don't think I ended up with a Bitcoin Gold.
Wait, I thought everyone explain it. Just take everyone back to explain how this works or how this was supposed to work.
So, Bitcoin said that if you had Bitcoin by a certain date, they were going to give you a new coin called the Bitcoin Gold.
This is like not an exchange, but like an addition. You still keep your Bitcoin,
right?
But you also get Bitcoin Gold.
Yes.
And so from my limited reading on this, there's a limited number of Bitcoin, and by adding Bitcoin Gold, you're kind of doubling the amount of Bitcoin out there. So it might be like maybe there's $1 billion worth of Bitcoin possible, and now there'd be 2 billion because of the gold.
Yeah, sort of.
It's expanding. Is that what it is? It's something to do with expanding the currency, right?
It's a separate currency. So
I don't.
It's not actual Bitcoin. It's a separate currency.
Do you know what this sounds like to me?
Hmm?
This sounds like baseball cards. First there was Topps, then there was Donruss, then there was Flair, then there was Upper Deck. There's and eventually they screwed themselves. They came out with all these different like lines of cards, and everyone just said, you know what, this shit's worthless.
Right. So, funny story. Bitcoin Gold came out 2 days ago at $540 per coin, and today it's worth $150.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you can only invest now and then go back in time and sell, you'd be good.
So almost everybody who got it immediately said, "I don't want this."
So maybe you should buy it now.
What happened? It's not going to be.
So the Bitcoin did this before, right? Didn't they they split previously?
Yes, they've split twice. This is the third one, and there's going to be a fourth one next month.
There's another one?
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to destroy Bitcoin.
I think so, which is why I sold all my Bitcoin. Well, part of it is I sold it by accident, but
I am a crafty investor.
Well, I was playing. It's like stocks.
I sold by accident.
It's like stocks.
I'm just saying I had Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And now the pen company has my Bitcoin. I'm crafty.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
I turned my Bitcoin into.
Do you want me to invest for you?
No, so it's like stocks where you can say buy or sell at a certain amount, and I meant to say
by just explain that for people that don't understand. So when you can put a price in.
Yeah, say like Amazon stock is $100, and it fluctuates throughout the day. You can put in an order and say sell it if it goes up to 105, or buy it if it goes down to 95.
Okay. Perfect.
So
yes.
it's just like that with cryptocurrency, only instead of when I said sell it if it goes down to this amount, I accidentally hit sell now, and I just sold it.
There was no did you want to confirmation?
Yeah, see, I'm not familiar with these terms, and so I just said yes.
You're not familiar with the term sell?
Well, they're called put and, put options or...
Aren't these things all on your CPA exam?
No, we don't.
Oh, okay.
Buying and selling stocks aren't on the CPA.
Oh, okay. I have really no idea what's on the CPA exam. I actually forgot what it stood for also. Chart.
Certified public accountant.
Certified public accountant.
So I ended up buying Ripple and Stellar Lumens.
You're just making up things now, aren't you? So hang on. Let's just take us through. So you bought the Ethereum at 310.
Yeah. And
the Ethereum right now is at, and it got all the way up to 340 recently, right?
Yeah.
So it's at 297 right now.
That's right.
And Bri and I said, well, Bri said sell, and you said you don't know what you're talking about, Bri.
Right.
And you told, what was it that you said the Ethereum was going to take off on the 25th?
Yeah.
Yesterday?
Yes.
Is it taken off?
It's it's revving up. The engines are revving up.
It's gonna be to the moon, like Alice and Honeymooners.
Yeah,
to the moon.
It's getting there.
Okay, so Bitcoin. How many Bitcoin had you bought?
0.2 of a Bitcoin or something. 0.21 of a Bitcoin.
So you put $1,000 in.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you buy? You bought that you made money on, right?
Yeah, I bought it at 46, and I accidentally sold it at 53.50.
So you
So I made $200 there.
Okay. You know what? Warren Buffett, he actually has no examples of him accidentally selling stuff.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Okay.
He also has a guy though.
He what? What did you say?
He has a guy though.
At some point he was the guy, right?
I don't know. I don't know much about him really.
I know he's a lot of money. He's also one of those rich people who, and like not rich people, like one of the richest people on Earth, who like says like he still drives his like 30-year-old like pickup truck because like if I had billions and billions of dollars, I'd take pride in driving a beat up old pickup truck because I'd be a complete fucking moron. Like what kind of asshole thing is that to do? Like if you have $38 trillion, you should buy like a $1 million car because that's a good use of your money at that point. That's helpful for everyone as opposed to you just being like, I'm just going to hold on to all this money and prevent other people from making money.
Right.
So how were you pissed when you accidentally sold it?
I was, because then it went up another like $300, like almost instantly.
Like you sell it and immediately it's like, oh, now we're taking off.
Yeah, exactly.
Could you? Is there a fee for when you buy and sell it? What's like the fee?
There was only a fee, I think, to put the money into the exchange. So it was like 1.5% to put it in there. Oh no, there's a tiny fractional fee, but it was like, I don't know, it was like 0.0003 of a Bitcoin. So it was like $2 or something.
Well, my question is, why didn't you just buy it back when you realized you sold it?
Because that's when I started putting it into the other stuff, the Ripple and the Stellar Lumens and stuff.
Okay, so first Ripple and so Stellar Lumens. Did you make up that term?
No.
What the hell? What are the? We talked about Ripple last show. Explain more about these?
Ripple is a coin that banks are actually using to send money back and forth to each other because it's instant. So, like, if they want to transfer millions of dollars to each other instead of waiting like 3 or 4 days for it to clear, they put it into Ripple, transfer it over, and then take it back out.
I mean, that sounds like a viable thing to invest in. And what about the other one?
Stellar Lumens.
What's the Mark Cuban one? Did you invest in Mark Cuban's one?
Yeah, the pre-sale ended, and that goes on market next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Stellar Lumens is what? A video game character?
No, there's I'm not actually sure.
I don't know. It turns out it wasn't even coins I invested in.
No,
I found a guy on the street. He might have been homeless. His name was Stellar Lumens, and he has my money, and that should go up in value.
No. IBM backed Stellar Lumens last week, so that's why I bought into that one.
So how are they doing? So where are the investments?
It's still really, really, really cheap. I bought Stellar Lumens at 3.5 cents. So
okay.
So I bought like 5,000 of them. It was like $200. So like, if it goes up to 4 cents, I'm gonna make a lot of money.
No, that's a good point. What is that now?
Let me check. And then
it's at 2 cents right now, right?
I know. The page is loading.
Okay. These you are becoming quite the cryptocurrency trader.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
And then there's one more I got my eye on, but I'm waiting for the price to fall a little bit.
Ooh, I've got my eye on you, you sexy little cryptocurrency. What's the one you have your eye on?
Monocoin, which is Japan's own cryptocurrency. So I feel like that's a good idea because they're going to be loyal to that.
There are so many of these cryptocurrencies.
I know. See, that's the thing. At some point, it's going to consolidate, and there's only going to be a couple winners. And if you're back in the right,
there's only going to be one winner.
There might be a couple. I mean, there's a lot of world currencies. I feel like there's going to be like maybe 10. So if you're backing the right horse, you can have a lot of money.
You know what the best way to invest in this?
Mm-hmm.
you should contact the Las Vegas shooter's brother, because whatever he was using to buy the child porn is probably what the child porn crowd likes, and that's probably the one you should back.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the horse I really want to get in on.
But that's the one. I mean, that's like, find that, or find like the one that like when people like the drug dealers are using. Those are the ones you really want to back, because those are the ones that probably do the best.
Hmm.
You don't think so? I bet if you could follow just the if you studied people that were in child porn, you would probably find out like that's really where the investment is. Jed, how did you make your millions? Well, I spent some time finding men who like boys, and just I seen how they exchange pictures of the little boys, and that's what I invested in. I don't like child porn. I think it's heinous that it exists, but it has provided me with this wonderful cushy lifestyle.
Do you want to jump into some of the questions?
Yeah, why not?
I figured.
But just curious,
I have more
what
stuff
was the
to talk about, but like, I feel like there's gonna be a riot if we don't start doing the questions.
Yeah. What was the? I was curious of the price. So, what did you buy Ripple at? Because I have the Ripple price here.
20 cents.
It's at 20 cents.
No, I bought it at like 19.8 or something.
It's at 20.2.
Okay.
And what was the other one?
Stellar Lumens. Or it's sometimes just called Stellar.
Oh, you're stellar, Jay. The price of Stellar Lumens is, you bought it at 3 cents?
3.5.
Oh, it's like 8 cents.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's like 3.5 cents.
Yeah. I mean, everything's been stagnant since I bought it, but you know.
Yeah. Why don't we get the questions?
Okay. Lorenzo writes.
Hey, Jay, I have a question for you.
Yes.
We'll get the question in 1 second. Were you raised with religion?
Yes. My mom actually
guys-
taught religion class.
You went to religion class?
My mom actually taught it.
Your mom oh, no shit.
Yeah.
So she was like were you guys pretty religious growing up?
Yeah, I mean, church every Sunday.
You went to church every Sunday?
Yeah.
Well, you don't seem the type that went to the church. You don't seem like you like religion now. You don't seem a big fan now. Am I wrong?
Well, I learned so much about it, I realized I don't believe any of this. So
you have enough religious training. I want to ask you a question. So did God ever think about having more kids?
Did God what?
Ever think about having more kids?
He
had a son.
Yeah.
Sent the son to Earth. That didn't go down so well.
He's like, man, I have a dirty hippie as a son.
But why didn't he have any more kids? Do they ever talk about that? Like God, like his family planning thing?
Well, they didn't even talk about like God's relationships really at all. He kind of just, I mean, it didn't seem like Mary was very consensual, did it?
I don't know. I mean, everything about it seems pretty weird.
It's all
first of all, he sends his son down to die. He doesn't protect his son. He has all this power, and he's like, kill him.
Let's see what happens.
What a shitty dad. I mean, I have to say, like, I could see, like, that's pretty fucked up of a God. Also, my other question was, do you think do they ever talk about that? Like, is that something you could ask, like, about, like, is he going to have another kid?
No, never even mentioned.
Okay, and the other thing is, I don't understand. So Jesus died, right?
Yes.
Where's Jesus now?
In heaven.
Oh, he is chilling in heaven.
Yes.
Like a celebrity there?
He died, he came back, and then he died again.
So, but like they say, like he's like in heaven, like he's like he is.
Yeah, he's waiting. He's waiting to come back down for the rapture.
God, Dad, can I go back down there? I told you in a little while. God, Dad, I'm bored. What if
I just show up in a piece of toast? Okay.
Okay. But you have to make sure you pick like a lunatic to do it for. Okay, go to Lorenzo.
Do you think the current skinny jeans trend will cause long-term medical problems for guys' balls? I just got some slimmer work pants, and goddamn, there's not a lot of room for my boys in there.
I have to say, I kind of have you noticed that all these clothes are now like these European like skinny cuts?
Yeah.
A lot.
My girlfriend got me a pair of pants, and there's like zero room for my balls. I'm like, who is wearing these?
I mean, I put on a shirt. I'm like, hi, this is America. None of us can wear these shirts.
Yeah. I hope they do.
Are you wearing skinny jeans?
No, they're not even skinny jeans. They're normal looking jeans with like no room for your balls. But as far as the skinny jeans go, I hope so, because maybe that'll make people go back to like Jinkos, which were the most comfortable pants ever.
There was like a pair of Gap was doing these quote retro jeans, relaxed fit, and I liked it so much I bought like 6 pairs of them because I'm like, I'll buy these 6 pairs, I'll never have to buy jeans again.
Yeah, no, I'm sick of these crotch grabbers.
Oh my god, yeah, no, it's freaking awful. I don't know how you. I actually think he's right though. I think if you keep wearing skinny jeans, you will affect your ability to have kids.
Good. I hope so. I hope that was the plan. The problem is though, it's hard to find like normal jeans.
A lot of things. You know what? The other thing I found is annoying? Shorts. I love shorts, and I find that all the shorts these days go above your knee. That's like the trend.
Yeah, that's the problem with fashion. Like, if it's
awful.
if it's a shitty trend, like you're almost forced to buy it anyway. Like the people who didn't like Jinkos, they probably didn't have a lot of like non-super baggy options back when those were huge in the 90s.
Yeah, that's true. For the years I've not been buying shorts. My wife's like, well, you need new shorts. I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm not going to wear above the knee shorts.
Oh, above the knee shorts are terrible.
Holy crap! I eventually found a pair. I found a place that actually had. I found they had a below the knee shorts. And I was like, I'm buying 3 pairs right now. It's like, we never do this again.
Exactly. Lorenzo writes, hey guys, do you know of any couples that are having an argument, but then they duke it out on social media in a retarded back and forth? My wife's friend and her baby are staying with us because of a major fight with her partner, and all I hear is that he posted this on Facebook, and I wrote "Stay strong," #Stay strong, and all this other crap. My MO is to stay out of this sort of stuff, but I feel like saying, why don't you get in a room together and sort it out instead of the whole world seeing you go tit for tat?
I mean, that sounds really annoying.
I have seen multiple instances of this on social media.
Have you really? I've never seen this.
Yeah, no, I had this one friend who caught her husband cheating, and she like posted screenshots of all the texts, and another person was just literally just going back and forth with their now ex like for like 2 straight days, just snapping at each other, and it's like it was so weird.
That's really everything. Any kind of exchange you make with someone, like the only exchanges you make with Facebook are, I mean, I guess you can exchange with people you know that are here. It just like a couple should not be exchanging on Facebook. They should be just talking to each other. Or
it's so weird.
I find, I mean, we've talked about before, I find it so weird when someone's like, I mean, everyone's now on Facebook is like, like 10 years ago this day, I met a special someone and we're going to celebrate like every anniversary, birthday, you have to post on you. Like I said to my wife, like, if you ever post anything about my birthday, like, or like our anniversary on Facebook, I think we can end our relationship.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like watching a movie with the one I love, and you're sitting next to them and posting about them. I don't know. It's just strange. People. Yeah,
people are so fun. It's like it's a weird thing of being like, look how good my life is, and you're like, it can't be that good if you're posting about it.
Right. Or even just posting like "Happy Birthday, Babe" like on their Facebook. Like, no, I'll just say that to your face.
Yeah, like my wife just tends to like tell me that morning in bed. You see them right away. Why would you not? I understand if you're like, "Happy birthday, babe. Hopefully you'll be back from the war soon."
Andrew says he can't wait for you and him to have your friend anniversary.
Oh my god! There was someone on one of our fans I had a Facebook anniversary with, and I got so annoyed with them when I saw it. Nothing against them, but it was just like, this is the stupidest. Celebrate your celebrate your friendship with Jay. I'm like, I don't fucking want to celebrate my friendship with Jay. If we're gonna do it, we'll do it on a podcast. What the Facebook? You don't know us.
Mr. C writes, did you see that Google's owner has a new take on your mail a taco business idea? And they're testing out drone delivery in Australia. And he said, you really are visionaries.
Google is?
Hmm?
Wait, Google is doing drone delivery?
Yeah.
Google has stolen our taco idea?
Yeah, you can literally have a drone deliver a taco to somebody's place now.
Do you think we can find a lawyer that takes Bitcoin? Because we could sue.
I think we can.
Okay.
We did that like a year ago.
Yeah. Do you think will you take payment in Ripple? Hello?
How about Stellar Lumens? Lorenzo writes, you know that Steven Seagal movie Under Siege where
Wait.
what?
Hang on. You know what? I keep picturing. So I've heard this. So I think Amazon's testing this idea out here.
They
the
are.
drone delivery thing.
They are, yeah.
And then I know I've seen like a movie or something or a TV show where they've shown like a futuristic time when they have the drones like flying everywhere.
Yeah.
That would be so goddamn creepy if drones were just delivering packages.
Well, it won't work. You know why?
Why?
People are going to shoot them. If I had a house and drones were flying overhead delivering stuff, the first thing I would do was buy a BB gun and shoot the drones. That would be my afternoon. I'm not kidding.
Oh my god.
Tell me you wouldn't do that. Skeet shooting in your backyard? And then you might get a gift with it.
In Florida, they have stand your ground. They would shoot it everyone would just order a package and shoot the drone down.
I mean, they were shooting at hurricanes. You think they're not going to shoot at a drone filled with gifts?
Holy crap.
I mean, what if I shoot down a drone and a PlayStation drops into my lap?
What is better than flying targets in the country that loves guns?
I know. It's like literally it'll never ever work. It might work in Australia. It'll never work here.
I mean, this would be the greatest.
As soon as that goes underway, sell all your Amazon stock because they're going to go bankrupt.
I mean, that's just the worst idea ever.
Yeah.
This is like, it's like, oh, this idea is good. Where are you going to do it? America. Okay, we'll just shut the idea down.
Yeah. End scene.
And it'll be great. Like, someone will be shooting at it. Instead of shooting the drone, they'll shoot a person, and Amazon will be like, why the fuck are we responsible for this?
Right. So they're going to have lawsuits. They're going to have broken drones. They're going to have stolen merchandise. This is going to go real good.
Hey, Amazon, how about you just pay the truck drivers? We'll take our items in 2 days. It'll be fine.
No, 2 days isn't quick enough, man. I need my comic book in 6 hours.
So our town, just to take a so they opened up a Target recently. And our town, there's not a lot of shops in our town. Target opening up is huge deal. How big of a deal it is? It opened like last week. There's like a Facebook page for our town, and someone wrote, has anyone been to the new Target? An hour later, there was 160 comments. People are so excited about this new Target. But everyone, when they talked about it, it's a smaller Target. It's supposed to be like a mini Target, or it's not a full service Target. It has like a lot of stuff, not everything. And I've heard a lot of people say, well, like, I just want a place in town like that I can get like socks. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, like, what if you just need to get a pair of socks? So I feel like all you need to do is go, like, it's just, if Amazon could just find a way to get us all socks in a short amount of time, then everything will be solved.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going with this, but it was just amazing. I'm like, maybe Target should just sell socks. Everyone's just using socks as an example. Maybe it should just be a sock store. But our town is super excited. People are like piling up their carts with stuff from Target. As like we're like, yo, you know, Target, it's open now. It'll just be here. You could always come back for stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. People are strange. They always got to be the first to do everything.
I was kind of excited for the Target. Then we went there and I was like, oh, it's a Target.
Right,
not
exactly.
Not sure I got so excited. I'm going to go home now.
Yeah, but you could have been the first in your town to buy skinny jeans at Target.
They had a soft opening and then a grand opening. I couldn't even figure out what the difference between the soft opening and the grand opening was, but it was a big deal in my town. I could walk to Target from where I live, which it's a big deal.
So weird.
But yeah, so I guess like I feel like we could wait for stuff though. Basically, if I need my toothpaste, if I need socks, now I can walk to Target. So Amazon, you don't need your drones.
Right. Let's see. Lorenzo writes, hey guys, you know the Steven Seagal movie Under Siege where the penthouse pet jumps out of her cake and her titties are flying everywhere? Who would each of you want to jump out of the cake like that? And Mark, you cannot say James Dolan.
Okay, so first off, she was in Playboy, the one that came out of the cake. And I remember my dad had a Playboy collection. And I remember seeing her in Playboy. I thought she was like the hottest woman ever. I loved that Under Siege scene.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want her jumping out of your cake now.
Yes. That would be awkward because she'd break a hip and then sue me.
Yeah.
Who do I want jumping out of the cake now?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to pick a hot celebrity, or not?
I mean, you could be a liar and say your wife.
How about Jay? I want Jay jumping out of my cake. Jay, could you rub your nipples and tell me some CPA questions? Who do I want coming out of the? I know you want Olivia Munn, right?
I do want Olivia Munn. I would take Sarah Hyland.
I don't know who that is.
She's in Modern Family.
Oh, is that the one that had the breast reduction?
No, it's the older sister, not the younger sister.
Oh. How about the woman that George Bush Sr. Sexually harassed? Did you hear about this?
I heard he did. Yeah. I don't think I'd want her jumping out of the cake.
She's pretty hot. But then she would sue me for sexual harassment right afterwards.
Probably.
She'd be like, I didn't know this jumping out of the cake thing could be sexual. The fuck else would it be? Let me see. What else would I want?
Mila Kunis would be nice.
Yes, there you go. I'll take her. Why isn't she in more stuff? All I see her now is in the whiskey commercials.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she's just, taking care of her baby.
Oh God, stop being a good mom. You don't have to take care of your kids. It doesn't really matter. There's only two choices in life. Either they're gonna shoot 50 people or they're gonna look at child porn. I mean, it's one of those two things, Myla. Just get back to being in stuff.
We are the Brink of Sanity at gmail.com and Brink of Sanity 3 on Twitter. Do you have the Facebook questions open?
Yeah, I'll give you. Jason writes. Question. I'm going out of order, so I'm starting with question 3 for the week from Jason. Mark, do you buy all your groceries and stuff and pay cash, or do you have some money back rewards card you use? Can you recommend one for me? Please give me the secret Jew money knowledge. So what I use, so I don't feel like a lot of those cards are like they give you 3% of grocery, 5% for dining out. I don't dine out that often. I don't feel like I spend enough on gas or I feel like those things aren't the best deals. And I don't travel enough to really take advantage of the travel cards. But I have Capital One has a travel card where you can their definition of what is travel is pretty wide. I can use it for the train the train I take to work. I can use it for the train, and that's the cash back. But they do every dollar you spend, you get 2% back. So I do that, and they have a yearly annual fee that if you just call them every March and just say, "Can I have this annual fee waived?" They say, "We don't usually do this, but okay." But I do that. So basically, everything I buy with the Capital One credit card, I get 2% off, and I put everything on the credit card. I try to not use my cash that often.
Okay.
What do you do?
I mean, I have a Chase Freedom card. The APR is stupid high, but if you pay it off every month, they have a really good cashback rewards. It's 5% or something.
It can't be 5%.
It's a lot. I don't know what it is, but it's a lot.
Oh, I feel like I've looked into this, and there wasn't one that was really better than unless you were using it for travel flights. There really isn't much a cashback one that's much better.
Mm-hmm.
Chase Freedom card, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I usually pay it off, so I don't.
Actually, I think it's 1%, but then they have 5% on certain things, like you said, like groceries or whatever. So
right. I guess if you're buying enough groceries, I just figured 2% on everything is probably better than their weird equation.
Yeah.
Jason writes, question 2 of I probably should have gone out of order, but question 2 for the podcast this week. Peter said he invested in Bitcoin and has about 10 and lost the unique hardware wallet that had his coins. Well, Bitcoin is almost $6,000 per coin, so how is he so chill about losing $50,000? And why have you guys never invested in Bitcoin 5 to 10 years ago? I think Peter said he had 2 Bitcoin, not 10.
But even at 2, that's $10,000 that he just lost. I don't know. He was a lot more chill than I would have been.
Just to let everyone know, Peter on their show was played by Warren Buffett, so that's why. I would not be chill about that at all.
No, I would not either.
I'd be incensed. Jason writes, comment one of his question one of the, for him. Ether is at 298 now. Is Jason mad he did not sell last week? I have been observing Ether and noticed a 50-point up and down at each point seem consistent, actually. On second thought, my other friend said he made $1,600 on a coin called Vertcoin and made $89 on a coin called Stellar Lumens.
See, there you go.
Why did you buy Vertcoin, Jack? His friend, just to finish the question, he said, but his friend took a hit on Ether. Also told me to stay away from BitConnect. Jason, thoughts?
I don't even know BitConnect.
Well, Jay, also, you didn't know about Mt. Gox.
Mt. Gox?
Yeah, well, we talked about this. I talked about this after the show last time with you. Mt. Gox used to be a major coin exchange. It said they had around 70% of the market was Mt. Gox, and then Mt. Gox just went bankrupt and lost everyone's coins, and they lost something like $1 billion of coins.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these are going to fold at some point.
But it wasn't like people had their money in it. It was basically Mt. Gox was essentially a bank where you kept your money.
Right.
And then one day it'd be one day like J.P. Morgan going like, we don't know where the money is, and you're like, what do you mean you don't know where the money is? We don't know where it is, and you're like, oh, is there anything I can do about this? Not in Bitcoin world. So a lot of people lost a lot of money because Mt. Gox, one of the major operations, just the major bank basically for the money just like went away.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, so where do you keep your Ether? Like, where do you keep these coins?
Well, I keep most of it in this site called Gemini because that's the most secure. That's more like a savings account. I keep a couple in Coinbase and Bittrex. Coinbase is also to like keep it. Bittrex is where you trade it like a stock market.
So any of those, like, what if like just Coinbase was like, we don't know where your money is, Jay? What would you do?
Well, what can I do?
I don't really know. But you could, at least like if J.P. Morgan goes, we lost your money, you could be like, well, there's something called FDIC insurance, so like I can get the money back.
Right.
In theory.
Yeah, I don't like this conversation.
Are you going to invest in Vertcoin?
I'll look into it.
Okay. I expect you'll invest in. What's the price of Vertcoin? Price. Vertcoin. I don't even know if he made that up. I know it's real.
No, I know it's real. I think it was like $40 or $80 a coin.
That is up 25%. It's $3.78.
Oh, okay.
You could have made 25% on your money today.
Jesus.
What the fuck?
That's like
it went up 25% today?
Holy crap. I will definitely look into that.
I mean, Jay, I'm sure it's going up 50% tomorrow. I mean, this whole thing seems so sketchy. But Liam writes, last week someone mentioned in the question that there was a friend, this friend invested $20K, all his life savings in Ripple and Park Byte crypto. Someone mentioned this in the questions? Well, Park Byte just went up today a lot. Are you going to invest? Let me see Park Byte.
Park Byte. There's so many of these things. It's got to consolidate at some point. There's too many. It's getting confusing.
It's only up 1%. Well, he might have gone up. Holy shit. So Park Byte, what is this? It went up drastically a couple days ago.
Maybe because of that guy who put all his money into it.
I mean, this is just fucking weird. You can find it. Well, Parkway just went up a lot today. I think there's a lot more of this. I mean, 10 years ago, I remember how people clowned on the iPhone and Netflix. How do we know if crypto is the future as the internet is in everything we use and know? Like Spotify and YouTube, is crypto's chance to get into something early that will blow up in the coming years, a new piece of revolutionary technology.
That's what I think.
I mean, so there's a lot of things that make sense. Like to be able to transfer, if I can transfer money from like here to like Australia in like a blink of an eye or like a very short period of time, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And they can reduce the cost of transferring money. So that's like an amazing technology. But there's too many of these coins.
Yeah, like I said, they'll condense at some point, and then if you're backing the winner, you're going to be a rich man.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. Like,
because once these start falling, people are going to just take their money out of it and put it into the winner. So
Jay, let's just say I was going to invest $1,000 in this.
Yeah.
What should I invest in? Should I buy like $100 of like 10 different coins? What should I do?
I would say like 2 to 3 coins.
What coins?
Like I still think Ethereum is going to be the winner. But
why?
I mean,
Why?
Their technology, their security, the fact that it's trading more than pretty much everything at this point, and it's
more than Bitcoin. I feel like Bitcoin's still like the market leader.
I think last week there was more Ethereum traded than Bitcoin.
Okay, so I buy one Ethereum for $300, and then what do I do for the rest of the money?
Put it in a few different things. Put it in Stellar. Put it in Ripple. Put it in Vert. Like, diversify.
My wife's gonna be like, "Oh, we're not gonna put you in charge of investing anymore."
I mean, if one of those pans out, you're gonna have a lot of money.
I mean, it'd be better than working.
Yeah.
Andrew writes, Jay needs to elaborate on that story about the time in a bar bathroom stall.
You guys were talking about sex in a bar bathroom on one of the shows I wasn't in.
Oh, and you had sex in a bar bathroom stall?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, you were asking, like, why would somebody do that?
Well, tell us more, Jay. Share the story.
It was my only time in Staten Island, and
I have found, now I'm not sure how this works out for everyone else, but 100% of the time you go to Staten Island, you have sex in a bar bathroom.
For me, that statistic rings true.
Okay.
And so I was at a.
How old were you?
I was 22.
Okay.
I was at a shitty dive bar with my girlfriend at the time.
Oh, not that it's being your girlfriend. So I was so hoping it wasn't your girlfriend. Tell me the story ends with it not being your girlfriend.
No, it was my girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna love this story if you were like, yeah. And so I was like, let's just go to the bathroom. And she was like, well, I don't know you. Doesn't matter. Okay, you had sex with your girlfriend in a bar bathroom. Why did you guys do it there?
Well, it was a shitty dive bar and we were bored. So she's like, do you want to just go have sex in that bathroom? I was like, well, yeah, I do. And it's a lot harder to do that than you would think.
Because I think a bathroom stall is roomy and comfortable and easy and not gross at all.
Well, one, it was gross, and two, like, you're not going to sit on the toilet, so you gotta. It's very tricky to do. But the second,
I'm guessing, did you have her? Was she leaning over? Like, were you guys doing it like doggy style?
She was trying to like stand on the toilet and like squat, and like it was. We were just trying to figure out what to do, and we asked her roommate to like watch the door.
You know, in movies where like they like one person picks the other person up and like puts them against the wall. I don't think that would be fun.
No, well,
I don't have the arm strength to be like, I'm really enjoying this.
The thing is, we asked our roommate to watch the door, and within, I'm not even joking, less than 30 seconds, like some dude's banging on the door. So like,
well, you said, hey, we're gonna have sex in the bathroom. I know you're bored. We're gonna be less bored. Could you watch the bathroom door? And she's probably like, no, I'm gonna meet the second you guys walk in there. I'm gonna go leave the bar.
Oh, I hated that girl so much, but I mean, it was
you wouldn't do that.
It was.
I would totally be like, the first thing I would do. You told me to do that. The first thing I would do is try to recruit people to go to the bathroom.
It was within seconds, so it didn't really go very far. It was so annoying.
Did you guys try again? Like in another? Like you guys like, okay, let's go hit another bar.
No, we had a plan to try it like in a park or something, but then we broke up.
You're like, I know we're broken up and all that. Can we still try a bar bathroom?
I'll text
Alex
her
writes,
when we're done with the show. Remember we were trying to do that park thing? I know you're married with a kid, but
Just for old time's sake, you
Right.
want to meet at that bar? And what's your roommate doing? She's dead. Well, can we put her corpse in front of the bathroom door? Alex writes, Ireland and the UK are going to be hit by a tropical storm, Ophelia, with 100 to 110 mile per hour winds. I'll be the biggest storm. It'll be the biggest storm to hit Ireland in over 50 years. Have you guys ever endured a hurricane, or what's the worst weather you have experienced?
Hurricane Gloria in Long Island was terrible.
When was that?
That was in the 80s. It took down a tree in my parents' backyard. Like,
Oh.
luckily it fell sideways, but like the entire yard was just this fallen tree.
My wife doesn't let me live down the fact that I tried to go for a jog during Hurricane Sandy. The storm was just like picking up. It wasn't like full storm yet, and I was like, I'm just gonna go for a jog. I'll jog to Central Park, and I'm like, it's not gonna be a real hurricane. And she's like, yes, it is. You're a moron. And I made it to Central Park, which was closed. And Central Park does not really close. And it was the wind. It was getting pretty rough with the wind out there. And I came back, and she was like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?"
See, I can't even count that because it pretty much skipped Astoria.
Wait, it's really?
Yeah.
Oh, because I feel like it hit. I mean, like it was actually a weird thing because it was. I remember it was like half of Manhattan lost power.
Yeah.
But I lived on 63rd Street, and the part of Manhattan that lost power was like on 57th Street and below. So like I was like just in the clear. So
yeah,
basically,
no, it was so calm. I tried to go to the bar around the corner from me, and I was pissed when it wasn't open.
oh yeah, it was pretty. And once it was over, like yeah, I mean obviously it was bad everywhere else, but I've never experienced anything that bad as far as a storm. That's a pretty bad storm hitting the UK though. I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah, I didn't. Like the United States news ignores pretty much the whole world. It's really gross.
I mean the whole world. We ignore like parts of our country just because we don't think they're still part of the country, like Puerto Rico.
We ignore Canada. Did you learn anything about Canada in school other than like it's north of us?
Okay, not to say our history is too white-centric, but it was like, let's learn everything about Europe. Black people were slaves, and we're done.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, there's nothing else. At least I know you probably can go to college and like take like delve more into things, but the basic history is just European history. It's all they give a shit about. The white people history.
Yeah, I was.
And the only mention of black is like the black people were treated pretty poorly, but that's over now.
Yeah, I was
I'm
talking
not sure
with
it's
my,
over.
My girlfriend's from Asia, and she was talking about how when she was growing up, they taught like where every country in the world is, and they taught history on like most of the world, and like we barely even mention Asia.
We don't mention even like Mexico outside of the fact that we had a war with them in the 1850s. Like we don't mention anything about them.
Yeah.
South America, like we just leave everything out there.
Yeah, we totally ignored it. It's really weird. Education's so bad.
But it's weird. We're so into like learning about European history. They're like, we really need to learn about the European stuff. You're like, could you just say we need to learn about the white people? Could you
Yeah, exactly.
stop hiding the shit.
Yeah.
Rosera writes, Mark, you liberal cuck, have you seen Trump's new tax plan? It's really, really good. I hope you left-wing cucks don't get in their way. One married tax exemption can go from $12,500 to $24,000. The child tax credit is doubled from $1,000 to $2,000. And LLC tax at 25%. Watch you wing ducks fight Trump on that, shaking my head with some bullshit about budgets and deficits. Trump's tax plan is absurd. It's the only thing that he's done have you been following the tax plan at all?
I read something like he doubled one thing but took away something else, so it's actually the same amount of deductions.
Well, they doubled the child. They did. He's right about this. They doubled the child tax credit and they doubled the exemption, like your initial exemption.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing the CPA stuff. You should know this. Everyone gets an exemption.
They're not going
right?
to test us on stuff that's going to get turned down next year.
When you do your taxes, instead of itemizing, what's the whole deal? You
just do lump sum. You itemize or you do lump sum.
What's it called though?
Just the standard.
The standard deduction. They're doubling the standard deduction. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But everything else, the LLC thing is insane. They're basically saying partnerships, which could be like Jay and Mark's podcast, or it could be Donald Trump's organization have their taxes lowered greatly. Like Donald Trump's organization, a lot of it's organized as a partnership or a limited liability company, and he's like saying, hey, how about I pay a lot lower taxes?
Yeah, pretty much.
The big things are like, so basically there was they said his tax plan will lead to about $2 trillion less in tax revenues over the next 10 years.
Cool.
Which is awesome because they're basically taking those $2 trillion. It basically means that money is the rich people are getting that money back, basically.
Sweet.
Because they pay the taxes, they should get the money back. And so trying to find a way to offset this. So one idea is, do you know what the 401k, how much you can contribute to your 401k?
I mean, you could contribute as much as you want, right? Like up to 20%.
No. Is this not on the CPA exam?
No.
What's on the CPA exam?
Stuff that I'll never use in my life, and it's super confusing.
So every year the limit goes up a little bit, but the limit now for your 401k is you can contribute $18,000. They're trying to take that $18,000 and reduce it to $2,000.
Holy shit.
That seems like a big cut, doesn't it?
But why?
So, because right now you're able to defer $18,000 a year, which means you'll pay the taxes when you retire, right?
Yeah. Oh, so they want the money now.
They
But
want the
also
money
want
now.
you to be like homeless when you retire.
Yeah, because they said America is doing a bang-up job in retirement savings, so we should just cut that part.
Yeah, because, rent now is $2,000 a month. So $2,000 a year, 30 years down the line will be more than enough, I guess.
You're going to like the next part. Also, if you live in a state that has high state and local taxes, which are city taxes, normally you're allowed to you're allowed to deduct those things on your taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you learned about? Like, do you do anything about a tax return on your CPA exam?
Yeah. The next part I'm taking has a bunch of tax.
Okay, so that if you live in a state that has high taxes, that's a benefit because you have the negative side of living in a state that has high taxes.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to end that deduction. So say you live, Jay, in New York, that would really screw you.
Yeah.
So in other words, after this is over, your taxes will be more, and you'll be able to save less for your retirement.
Oh, sweet.
So that's what they're trying to do. But if you have a corporation, your taxes will be cut in half.
Of course. And there it is.
It's a terrible, terrible plan. I can't believe Rosero, you really like this plan?
No, I think he's just messing with you. Are we almost done with questions? We gotta.
We're almost done.
Okay.
There aren't any. We'll go fast here. Eros says, "I have jury duty. What was your guys' experience with jury duty? Haha, you said jury. You said duty. I think we talked about jury duty before, right?
Yeah, I went for 2 days. I went to like the thing. I finally got called up to where they picked the people. I really wanted to get in, and they didn't pick me, and I went home. And that was it.
I was supposed to do grand jury duty, which is awful because they take you for a long period of time. It was supposed to be like, I was supposed to be going like 3 days a week for like 2 months straight. But then I didn't get picked, and so I'm out of it for 6 years. But you have to I feel like you have to get lucky with jury duty because you can get really screwed.
Yeah.
Eris writes, Mark and Jason, what was the biggest fight you ever had with your spouse, and what was it over? Jay? Biggest fight I ever had with her. Biggest fights I ever had with her really like when we were like, especially when our kids were younger, it's about kid stuff. It's always like trying to fight about how how to get the kids to sleep and disagreeing over it, and like when tensions build when your kid's like screaming his head off and it's 3 a.m. and you blame the other one for the fact the kid's crying.
Yeah.
But that's like the biggest kind of fights we ever have. I'm trying to think of what else we've had that I remember when we were buying a house, we just weren't finding a house that we liked, and everything was like either too much money or like too shitty. And this was one house we saw which was way over budget, and it was the house like needed like so much work. And my wife was like, "You have no vision." Like she got with this whole big fight, and we actually I remember we were in the car. I was like, I don't fucking want to buy a house with you anymore. I hate you. But and then now I bring up the house was also like such a bad idea And now I always bring up the house. I'm like, hey, remember that shitty house you wanted to buy? And she's like, oh, great. Let's keep talking about that.
Andrew thought yours was over tap water from that shop.
You got anything?
Mine was probably like early on. I had a friend come visit for the weekend, but my friend happened to be an ex, and I didn't convey that well enough before that happened, and that didn't go well for the next 3 years. I heard about it.
We're on lightning round with the questions, but we can expand on that next time. Eris writes, guys, what happened to Steven? Did he really commit suicide? Steven, if you're out there, please answer that question so we know you didn't commit suicide. Rosero writes, what is the nastiest food you ever had?
Probably yesterday. I got falafel over rice from one of those street carts, and
I love those street carts.
I usually do too, and usually they have good falafel, but I got 2 tiny pieces of dried up falafel from like yesterday, and that was it. It was just like a bowl of rice.
Oh.
Yeah, I got ripped
pretty
off.
Shitty. What's the nastiest? I don't have anything in particular I can think of, but I know for my wife, the answer is we were in Thailand, and she started eating food at a bar and did not realize it was dried grasshopper. And she didn't like that, which I found hilarious. And I knew it was grasshopper right away, and I watched her eat it.
That's awesome.
Rosaire writes, Mark, what advice will you give your son so he can have money and sustain himself besides not having kids before age 35? Well, I had my first kid when I was 32, so he can. I feel like you should probably wait till he's 30 at least to have a kid.
Yeah.
I think that's like really good advice. I think I don't know. I don't have any good advice so that's I can have to sustain himself. Do you have any good advice you'd have for a kid or my kid?
Go to a cheap college, because the degree matters, not the school, unless you go into Harvard. So why pay student loans until you're 50? Everyone I know who went to a cheap undergrad has a house and a car, and everyone I know who went to a private school is still paying off loans and renting, and is me, pretty much.
Yeah, I feel like the school can be such a goddamn scam. I think that's good. That's really good advice. I also just like pay attention to like credit card, like basic finance advice, so he doesn't screw himself. Rosera writes, seeing as Jason just made like $1,000 being a crypto king, what other things is he investing in? We kind of covered that already. Yeah. Liam writes, I know the question has been asked 100 times, but what is better to buy, a house or a condo? What does Jason what does he want to buy in 60 years when he can afford it, or buy either results in 2 weeks, or buy the ether results in 2 weeks? In a house is much better to buy than a condo.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Definitely.
With condo, you have to pay all these maintenance costs, and
you're basically paying rent forever. Yeah.
You are kind of with a house too in some ways. Like you have taxes, but like a house is still a better deal. You have more rights as ownership as a house. Yeah. So.
And if you ever want to sell the house, you don't have to like get approval from a board.
Yes, exactly. You like the thing is a condo. You can only justify a condo if like you have really cool features. Basically, like if there's like you get like a pool, you get like a gym. It has to be something you get for it.
Yeah.
Or else you're just. Liam writes, around how much does a person with a CPA make? Do they hit over $100,000 a year? Jay?
Definitely can, yes. You could probably start. I could probably start around 90 and hit 100 very quickly.
That sounds like a motivation to pass the exam.
Yeah.
Jason writes, name a place you went in NYC where you will never go back. Mark, I'm going to go with this place. The place I'd like to never go back to is Chinatown.
Mine is Avenue D.
I can see that as well. Why? Just because it's like the shitty area of the town?
Yeah, it's the sketchiest, scariest place I've ever been.
It's kind of scary. Mark, do you think more gun law will stop a psycho or a robber from getting them, or would just punish people like us who want to defend ourselves from people who want to steal our iPhones or from our beautiful suburban houses? Yeah, I think gun laws will help. I think it'd be nice if people there were crazy, like the Las Vegas shooter, couldn't just go buy 33 guns in the span of 11 months and is forced instead to like spend his time with his brother looking at child porn instead.
No, but Mark, if somebody wants to steal your iPhone, you need 30 guns to defend yourself.
Why do I do I need to have a gun on me at all times because I have an iPhone?
Apparently.
How about this? How about we don't involve guns? The guy just takes my iPhone and no one dies. I'll live with that because there's a good chance I'm going to pull the gun out and end up dying in that scenario. Jason writes, do you hate when staff or waiters handle your food with the same hands they use for money grabbing?
Absolutely.
I never noticed it until a friend pointed it out, and I was like, holy shit, you're right.
Yeah, money is so filthy.
It is kind of weird. Like it's like the guy at the deli will put on the gloves to make your sandwich, and then like hand you money. You use the same hands for the money, and you're like, oh, how about you just don't wear gloves then?
Yeah.
Jason writes, we're almost done. How high does the price have to be for Jay to sell his crypto? And Netflix presenting Crypto King, the Jason McKenna story, does have a ring to it. So what does the price have to be at Ethereum for you to sell?
I would probably slowly sell it off so that like I get back.
But where are you going to start selling it? Like what numbers are like you're going to be like, hey, I'm going to start selling?
Probably 500.
Okay. That'd be a good return on your money.
I would probably sell a couple just so that like, well, basically I would do like a stock. So like if it goes
first of all, you'd accidentally sell it all at once, right?
Yeah, probably. But
and like you should tell me when you're selling it, so immediately when you sell it, I could buy it because the price probably skyrocket.
I mean, like I would probably do like stocks. If it goes up to 5, I'd probably do like a stop loss at like 450, and if it goes up to 550, I'll do 5. So I'm like guaranteed a certain amount of money.
I'll be like, Jay, it's Ethereum. You were right. It's 10,000 today. That was the best advice ever. Aren't you? We're like rich now, Jay. You'd be like, I accidentally sold it all yesterday. Liam writes, Mark, what is your Jew opinion about this? This was at 296 2 weeks ago, now 340. I guess we posted this a while ago. The Ethereum at some point was 340, but now it's back down to 296. That is our questions for the show. And I know, Jay, you have to go soon. So
yes.
Why don't we do, what did we learn today?
We learned that the face and the body are two different things.
We learned that if anyone wants to just make up a coin, that Jay will probably give you money.
We learned that Mark doesn't like guerrilla marketing.
We learned that so listen, our podcast was around for like 10 years, and then we got pens, and that's why I'm on the Tonight Show.
The Knicks Podcast story.
The Knicks Podcast.
All right, thanks for listening, everybody.
Hey, can you hang on? You know what you got to do?
Mm-hmm.
You got to go to MSG, or actually go to Clyde's, and be like, Mr. Frazier, can you sign this for me? Oh, no. I have a pen you could use, Mr. Frazier.
Keep the pen.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's a podcast I do. Oh, yeah, we're big now. Okay.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back soon. Goodbye.
By the